Hello book discoverers and welcome to our walkthrough video for this amazing book, Somebody Crunch Colin. I will be guiding you through the activity pack, so you can go through each activity as you like, so whiz on the video, rewind it, pause it, and play whenever you like. But the idea for this video is to help guide you, guide your parents and guide other adults through this activity pack that we have personalised just for this awesome book. And let's start by looking at the book. Somebody Crunch Colin is a fantastic book that has a really strong message, and it's one that we really think about for Let's Go Read, and something that we're very passionate about, and that's saving our planet and looking after ourselves, other things, and obviously the future. And this book is just outstanding. We love the different variety of animals, we love the character of Colin, and we think you are going to absolutely love this book. So I won't show you too much of it, but you'll get the idea when you get to share this exciting book with your adult, whether that be in school, in libraries, or at home. And we hope that you really enjoy Somebody Crunch Colin. So there you go. So as always, we begin our activity books with our message from myself, Mark and Chris, and then we give you an opportunity to write your name. So this is the message. Last year, we included a book called Somebody Swallows Stanley in our Book Discoverer Club. But when we heard the news that the author was writing another Somebody Crunch Colin, we knew that our discoverers would love this story. Full of mishaps, crunches and furry friends, this book does not disappoint. The story comes with a strong message. Are you ready to find out what it is? Now, what are you waiting for? Let's go read. Aaron, Mark and Chris. So this activity book pack belongs to, and we're going to write a name, but as always with Let's Go Read, we always encourage you to look at the book and think about other things that you might add around your name to give it a bit of style and a bit of personalisation to the book. So I love the colours of Colin, so I think I'm going to write my name in red and blue, but also I think I might try and draw one or two of these butterflies or insects around the outside of my name as well. So if you would like to join me in that, you can. If not, you can whiz on and write your own name and then get going on the activity pack. Remember, you don't have to do this in order. You can do this in any order that you like. So there we go, there's my name, and although I messed up a little bit and we had a purple instead of a blue, I've got my letters in the colours of Colin, but also I decided to draw this little green insect there, just flying quite happily above my name. So I wonder what insect you will pick from the front cover, and maybe you could add that on. Remember, you could add on more if you would like to, but that is writing our name. So now, after our name, we are moving on to colour Crispy Colin. So Colin is a crisp packet with a colourful front and a smell that seems to attract, or the word allure, which is actually in the book. I wonder if you can find that word. Lots of animals to him. Create a new look for Colin below, and don't forget to follow our walkthrough video for some top tips on the way. So I'm going to give you some top tips and some extra ideas. There are lots of things in the book, but also things in our activity book that I think I want to try and include on a new design for Colin, because I think I want to make people more aware of recycling. And I want to think about how I can get that message on the front. And I want aspects of the original Colin and to use some of the ideas from him there and also in the book. So one of my ideas is using this symbol here. I'm just going to move it. I hope you can see. I'm just going to move slightly. Yes, you can see. Where it's reduce, recycle, reuse. And And it's a really important symbol that I think should go on the front of the crisp packet. So it's something that I'm going to design. Remember, you can do your own ideas, you can talk as a group. If you're in one of your book clubs or if you're at home, think about actually what you can do. There's a couple of other things that we've got that you might want to use. So we've got some recycling facts here that you may want to use as well. And just pick out one or two parts of this. And can you actually put that on the front? The fact that actually it takes 80 years for a crisp packet to decompose. One of the problems is that a lot of them get broken into very small pieces which animals actually eat and causes them to be very, very unwell. So we need to try and look after them, but also educate people and try and make sure that on the front of the crisp packet, we're talking about recycling. So reduce, reuse, recycle, that symbol right here is definitely one that I'm going to do on the front. So you're welcome to take those ideas and go off on your own now, or I'm going to talk through what I did in just a moment. So off you go. So here I've got my own crispy Colin, and he's smiling. He's a lot happier now because I've got some messages about recycling on the front of him, so he could be made into something else. So this is a great activity to generate lots of discussion. So this is called Here Today, Reuse Tomorrow. And it's all about the different types of ways that we can recycle different things and what objects belong in certain bins. So I know that maybe if you see mum or dad or other adults taking out the rubbish at home, there'll be certain ways that they're trying to organise it, because all of it will help our planet and help to recycle things rather than gathering lots of waste, lots of landfill and other things, but I won't go too much into that. But this is great for your book club, for you to discuss and think about what you would put in what bin, but also can you draw on any extra things that you might want to recycle and then think about which bin it would belong to. All right, so that's something that you can go away as part of your club and do now if you would like, have that discussion, or if you would like to see what I've done here, what I'm going to do is just, give sort of the answers in a way of what I would put in what bin, and maybe talk about some of the other things that might belong in these bins as well that I could draw. But mostly this is a great one to sit down with your adult or work in your book club and talk about, okay? So go off and do that now, unless you want to watch what I've done as well, just to get an idea of what will go where, and then you can do it on your own activity book as well as come up with your own ideas, okay? Okay, off you go. So now I'm going to go through some of the answers, and I'm just going to draw a simple line from the item going to the correct bin, and I might talk about it a little bit. So if you want to do that with me, then please do watch. If not, just skip on. It's not a problem. I won't be offended. We've got some different types of bins down here in different colours. And actually, what's quite interesting is that when you'll see maybe mum or dad recycling, sometimes they'll put the same sort of items in like similar items is what I mean, in the same bin. And that's what we're going to do here, because actually paper and cardboard, for example, can go in the same bin at the moment. So we're looking for any paper items or cardboard items. So I'm wondering if you can spot those for me, but I think the newspaper would go in the paper. Cardboard, that's going to go in there as well. And I think we've got another cardboard box here. Lots of deliveries going on in this person's rubbish. Okay, so I've got that. Are there any others? I don't think so. Do I have any glass now? I think we've got some glass bottles here. I'm only going to do one line for all of them, but you can do individual lines if you would like to. And then metal. Do you have any metal? Yes, we've got some cans. And sometimes you'll find, depending on where you live, the cans will go into the same sort of blue bin that we have where I live. cans as the plastic as well, but actually what's really good about all these different types of bins, we're really sorting and recycling really well here, so I think that would go into metal there as well. And then I'm on e-waste, so electronic waste. I wonder if there's anything electronic that we could put in there. Ah, there we go, the batteries here. I'm going to put those into there, so you can think about maybe computers, other electrical items that mum and dad might need to get rid of. What could you draw and then add on to the e-waste? And then we've got organic, so these are the things that are going to naturally biodegrade, okay? So little tiny insects eat away at them until they disappear. So an apple is quite popular with my daughter because once she accidentally dropped her apple on the floor, and I was telling her that it's going to take 6 weeks for it to disappear. You should have seen her face. But that apple will go into the organic waste, and so will this apple here. This is when it can become a little bit confusing, so it might be worth changing colour if you would like to, if you get confused by the line, to do a different colour. Maybe a colour that matches the bin. It's always a good idea. There's that one, the banana skin. You come down there and into there. And then we've got plastic. Now we must have some plastic. It's always good to try and reuse your plastic as much as you can, so it's not single-use plastic as we call it, but that will go in that bin there. So there are the answers for those on the page. However, do have a think, and maybe even go to the recycling bin in your own house, as long as you've asked mum or dad, or if you're in the book club, adults, brilliant ideas, obviously take in recycling and have the children try and sort them out into the correct sort of bins and recycling piles. It's always a good thing to do. But that is here today, reuse tomorrow. Okay, we're now on to one of my favourite activities, the writing activity. And this book has a wonderful rhythm to the words. So there's a good rhyme, but also I just love the way some of the sentences and some of the wow words they use, how they're kind of combined and used. So Crispy Colins Green Garden has a lot of what we call alliteration. That means the same sound following on from each other at the beginning of the word. So Crispy Colin and Green Garden. So we thought it would be a really good opportunity for you to think of 2 words that you would use to describe Colin that would begin with the same sound. Okay, and the same before his garden as well. So it doesn't have to be exactly the same as the example we've done. So Crinkled Crunchy Colin was found in the growing green garden, sorry. You can think of other ideas, and adults, grown-ups, if you're watching this, really good ideas to maybe mind map around the outside all the different words and ways that you can describe Colin or his green garden. Use the book. Also use some of the activities that you've already done, so whether that's actually using the Crispy Colin that the children have designed here, or actually you could leave this and come back to it, because after the children have designed their own actual garden here, that's a really good way of generating ideas to then come back here. So it's completely up to you with how you would like to do it. And those of you that are watching along at home, children, then I'm going to help you as well with some ideas. So I'm going to think of words, first of all, adjectives, describing words to describe Colin. All right. So I'm going to say that actually some animals found him quite delicious. So I'm going to start just writing some of these words over the top here and just start generating as a delicious. Although they realise soon from using him, he's not quite what they thought he was. He's quite colourful. He's quite, let's have a look. See, you'll see I'm going to use the book lots to give me ideas. So that's something you could do in your book clubs. He's quite, what else? We've used crinkled already. can we say? Shocked. I can see that his facial expression, remember it can be emotions as well. Shocked. Scared. I mean, shocked and scared, they nearly begin with the same sound. So that's not a bad idea. Shadows, not quite. Sometimes you can find as well adjectives actually in the wrinkled and crinkled, though they don't necessarily start with the same sound. That's a really good crinkled because it's got that lovely rhythm. I think I might even use that. Wrinkled, crinkle, Colin. Yeah, because crinkle, Colin. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for that. So I've got some ideas there, and then I will have a look at the garden in a moment, but I think I'm going to go for wrinkled. So I'm going to start with a capital letter like we've got here. Wrinkled. And if I'm not sure how to spell it, I could always look in the book. I'm going to use a comma. Crinkled. Wrinkled, crinkled, Colin, and because that's his name, I'm going to use a capital letter for him as well. Colin, and I'm going to use exactly the same sentence but change these adjectives here. So when I get to describing his garden. So crinkled Colin was, I might even, tell you what, I'm going to mix it up. I can find a different word, a synonym for found, a better word. I think I'm going to go, was discovered. Discovered. Tricky word to spell. Discovered in the, but I am going to use some of my adjectives because it's quite a colourful garden in the end that he has, where all the insects and everything. I don't want to give away too much, but you can have a look there at all those wonderful, colourful, definitely. In the colourful, and I might say it's quite big, so should I use colossal? Colourful, colossal. I need a comma to separate my two adjectives because they're two different ones. Colourful, oh, what did I say? I literally forgot. Colourful, colossal. Colossal. Colossal, tricky word to spell as well. Lots of people get confused with how many L's and S's there are. Colossal, colourful, colossal. I could add in green, maybe that could be over the top with adjectives. Colossal garden. So there we go. I've got one awesome sentence there, and I've improved it significantly even from that one. So wrinkled, crinkled Colin was discovered in the colourful, colossal garden. Wow, that is some awesome writing, and I would love to see what you came up with. So please do share it with us. Get an adult to take a picture of it and then send it to us at Let's Go Read. We would love to see your awesome sentences. But that's Crispy Colin's Green Garden, but wrinkled and crinkled Colin was discovered in the colourful, colossal garden. Let's see how you do. All right, off you go. So, for your next activity that you can get involved with, whether it's at home or in your club, is our simple recipe that we always try to include, linked to the book, is the Mighty crisps sandwich. Now this thing is a joy, so simple yet so delicious, and so easy to make. So please do enjoy making your crisp sandwiches for you to enjoy at your club whilst you may be listening to the book from the adult reading it to you, or whilst the adult at home reads the book to you, or you're completing one of your activity books. Now I'm a bit strange because I quite like a bit of cheese on it, and also push it down, you've got to hear that crunch. And also most people would slice their sandwich in half. Not me. I'm going to have it all at once. Why not? Just be careful about dropping it on the floor, and of course recycle your crisp packet at the end, but enjoy your crisp sandwich. Why not? Sorry, I was munching away there on my my crisp sandwich. I haven't finished it yet, and I've had tea. Ooh, I'm eating lots tonight. Anyway, the Leafy Green Garden. So this is one of our favourite activities. Of course, always include it. We've got to. Stickers, yes please. And this location is all based on the garden at the end, okay, where we got Colin quite happily watering the plants and things like that. So it's your opportunity to use things from the book, draw it out, add extra details if you'd like. Also use your stickers to bring this Leafy Green Garden to life. Use your imaginations. You'll see some of the woodland animals, raccoons and bears and things that featured in the story that you can place wherever you would like, and think also carefully about where you're going to place them. Sometimes we try and give you the colour background as a bit of a clue as well, but have fun with this and enjoy creating your Leafy Green Garden. So I'm going to have a go at this and then I'll talk you through some of the things that I was thinking, might give you some ideas for you then to go away and do this yourself. But if you feel confident, you know what you're doing, and you've got your book to hand, you're pretty much ready to go. All right, off you go guys, enjoy. So there we are. Although it's not quite finished, I could add on more stickers, I have plenty left. I just wanted to talk you through what I was thinking. So eagle high up in the sky, ultimate predator. And then we got some of the bears and all these other creatures and animals just enjoying this beautiful leafy green garden that actually is well kept and it's not full of crisp packets and things that could upset their tummies and things like that. I've got the fish here, frogs quite happily waiting outside, otters as well, and we'll come to otters in a bit. But there we go, and that is the Leafy Green Garden. So that's mine. I wonder what yours will look like. On to our next activity then, Otterly Amazing. So we have a QR code here that you can scan with your device at home, or a teacher will prepare for you at school or wherever you might be, for you to watch a really cool clip about otters. And you only actually need to watch the first 5 minutes or so to be able to answer these true or false questions. And of course, when you finish, you can then colour in the otter if you would like. And also, as we always do at Let's Go Read, we challenge you to add in any extra details around the outside, whether that's different animals that the otter might eat or interact with, as well as some of the habitats and things that the otter likes. So the otter features in the story, and yeah, true or false. Can otters eat snakes? Have they only been around for 10 years? Do most otters in the wild only live for 8 or 9 years? And are otters really clever and intelligent? Watching that video will really help you to understand these fascinating creatures and which one that you should be ticking whether it's true or false. So I'm going to let you watch that video now, and then if you need the answers just to see whether you're right or not, then I will go through that in just a moment. So enjoy watching this fantastic video. All credit to them on YouTube. It's a fantastic, informative video, and I think you'll learn something. So go and watch it now. Okay, so now you've had time to watch that video, hopefully you'll feel quite confident of which ones that you've ticked for true or false. So, can otters eat snakes? Well, apparently they can as well. Although some animals can hunt them, they are actually really smart and intelligent, so I think that might give a clue to one of the other answers as well. Otters have only been around for 10 years. No, false. I think they said 5 million years. So that's amazing how long this animal's been on our planet. Most otters only live for 8 or 9 years. Not very long, is it really? Actually, and that is true for most of them in the wild, although in captivity they stay alive for longer. Maybe you could discuss that in your reading group, or at home, why you think actually they might not live for as long out in the wild. What dangers do they have surrounding them and things like that. And otters are really clever and intelligent. Yes, they are. So there's only 1 false, 3 true. And we hope that you enjoyed watching that video. Remember, add in any extra details that you would like around the outside. Of course, have fun colouring in that otter. But also, next time you're reading the book, Somebody Crunched Colin, look out for the otter. He has a starring role in that book. All right, there you go. That is Otterly Amazing. Okay, for the next activity, nice and straightforward, Colin the Watering Can. As hopefully you'll know by now from reading the book, Colin gets transformed at the end of the book into a watering can where he can actually help feed and help the other sort of animals and plants in that leafy green garden. So we're going to give you an opportunity to design what Colin the Watering Can looks like. So again, use the book. Very similar in design there. Will yours look the same? Will it look different? What will you add on? Actually, will he have more of a flower and petal sort of design to represent the garden? Can you pick things out? Can you actually name some of the flowers and plants that are in there, as well as some of the animals? Maybe you want to actually draw one of these birds to stand on top of Colin, which I might do in a moment, and then I'll show you what that looks like if you want to give that a go as well. Okay, so if you don't want to give it a go, off you go, you can get going. If you do want to see what I do, then of course I'm going to click my fingers and I'll talk you through what I did. Although I haven't quite finished, I just wanted to show you some of my ideas and where I was getting those ideas from. So I added in, I just love some of the illustrations here. It says by Hannah Jane Lewin. I mean, she's absolutely amazing. And I love some of the personalities that she's given some of the small creatures. And I decided to add in 1 or 2. So I've got here, this small bird here. I love the way he's looking, and also this butterfly up here as well. I just love the style, so I decided to have them quite happily around Colin, who seems pretty happy, and he, of course, from what I did earlier, my crisp packet, he's got that reduce, reuse, recycle symbol there as well, and I could add on the other little bits to show that he's been reused. I can colour that in and finish that off as well. So it's an opportunity for you again to look carefully again at the book and see what other details that you can add, but have fun with that. And also think about, actually, if you did want to, you can research and find out what all the other different things that can be made from crisp packets as well, and draw them and do other mini Colins around him as well. So that's something that you can do for Colin the Watering Can. There you go, that's just a few ideas to get you started. So we're rapidly moving on, and we've got a crunchy word search for you next. So there are so many brilliant words used throughout the book that they should be celebrated. Can you find them in the word search below? We've coloured 2 beginning letters in red of 2 words to help you get started. So furry and glinted have been coloured red to start with the starting letter. So can you find the rest of it? And then once you found that, can you find the others? And actually, after you found all the words, can you also find them in the book? So next time you're enjoying the book again all together, can you put your hand up, maybe, or point to it on the page when you find it? That's something that you can do as well. If you would like to find all of the words and you need a little bit of help to do that, then of course watch the next part of this video, and I will demonstrate where you can find all the words as I complete it as well for you. But if you don't want to know, just pause it or whiz on to the next part, pause it then, and then you can move throughout the book. But if you want to keep going with this, then you can, of course, but I'm going to find all the words now. So here we go then. So I'm going to try and find the words, and I think I'm going to do them in blue and red, just like Colin's front colours. So we've got the glinted and the furry. Glinted, inted. There, I can see it. That's that one done. Take it off. Furry, give me an F. So these are the two easy ones. However, some of them are harder, as we say down here. We've hidden a couple of words backwards to really challenge you. Can you find them all? Uh-oh. I can see swirled. So again, spot where these words are in the book. Swirled, and ask an adult if you're not sure what they mean. All right, it's very important to discuss words and think about how you can use them also in your writing. Crunched. Can I see that? Crunch, crunch, crunched. It's amazing. I do these word searches for us, and then when I come to do them, I can never find the words. Tasty. There, crunched. Sometimes I find a pattern of letters that not usually together, and that might make them stand out. So crunched. I look for the k and the h, make that ch sound. Crunched. There's one of the ones that are backwards. I cannot remember. Flew. Maybe I'll go for flew. Flew, 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 flew. Flew. Tangle. Maybe. Tangle, tangle, tangle. Well, this is harder than I thought. Gripped. Double P. For two p's together. That we should be able to add. Tangle. I see tangle there. Tangle. Tangle. Flew. Flew. E and W. E and W. E and W. Might be one of the ones that are backwards, I reckon. Flew. Ew. Duct. C and K next to each other. And crunched. Flew. Grizzly, two Z's, that's got to stand out somewhere. Grizzly. Grizzly, that's one of the tricky ones. Wow, I challenge you there. Grizzly. Gripped. Two P's. I can see that. Diagonal down there. Grip it. Gripped. Gripped. Duct. 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 There it is. Diagonally up there. And I just need last one, which is flew. There. Getting with the F as well. Flew. There we are. So how many of them are actually backwards? Kind of backwards going up, I guess. Okay, so there you are. We've got all 10 words from the book that we found there. So have a look, pause the video if you'd like to see where exactly they are, if you were struggling with any, but please have a look. All right, so that's a crunchy word search. Okay, so moving on. Lots of Colins are on the loose. Spot all the crisp packets in the picture and write the number in the circle. So, very simple, just need to count all the crisp packets that are hidden in the picture and then write the number in the circle there. So again, up to you whether you want to see what the answer may be, but can you spot them all and write the number up there? I'm just going to do it now, in red I think I'm going to do it. But if you don't want to see where all the answers are, I suggest moving on to the next part now, or pausing it and then playing it. But here we go. So I spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, I think, is the answer. I could be wrong there. Is there one that I can't see? Or are you going to be sneaky and draw your own and then ask an adult to count them all and just see if you can trick them? Why not? See if you can do that. That's a nice, simple activity. Lots of Colins are on the loose. Okay, so in terms of extra activities, you can, of course, do the 5-star rating. How good was somebody crunched Colin? Can you give it a rating and then explain your reason behind that rating? So if you gave it 4 or 5 stars, why would it not be 5 stars if it was 4, for example? We've got some recycling facts for you to read and then to share. And remember, try and remember them, go and tell someone, then come back. It's always a good way to try and learn them. Tick them off when you've told someone about it, or incorporate those into your designs that you've already done. We've got our reading routine over here, so some key words. So these pop up in this book and they're great ones for you to recognise and be able to read. So maybe every time they pop up, can you read those words when the adult or grown-up is reading to you? There's some wow words here: bandit, jumble, clutching. What do they mean? Can you find out? Can you try and use them in your own writing? And of course, we've got our Let's Go Read book quiz. So can you answer those questions? We don't have to write any answers, but you can verbally talk about them. Your grown-up can test your knowledge, or as a club, can you answer all of those? And of course, on the back here is our reading reward chart. Very important that as you complete your activities, you get your Let's Go Read stickers, and they are awarded as you go through, as well as your sharing of this wonderful book, and of course reading your school book at home. Very important to be able to practice those phonics and other parts of reading as well. And we hope that you've had a great time completing this activity pack and reading this book as well, of course. That's what it's all about. And until next time, have fun, guys, and keep reading. All right, take care. Bye.